There are Buddhas who, by giving food to beings, make them obtain abhisamadhi. 7. There are Buddhas whom it is sufficient to commemorate to obtain abhisamadhi. 8. There are Buddhas who, by the sounds made by plants, do the work of the Buddhas and lead beings to obtain abhisamadhi. 9. There are Buddhas whose name people hear and they thus obtain abhisamadhi. It is in regard to these Buddhas that the bodhisattva says here, "When I become Buddha, may those who hear my name find the way." 3. The hearing of the name alone is insufficient to produce abhisamadhi. Moreover, the hearing of the name, by itself, is not enough to obtain abhisamadhi. After having heard the name of the Buddhas, one practices the path and only afterwards does one obtain the way. Sutatas Bodhi. Thus the eminent Sutta first heard the name of the Buddha, rejoiced in his heart, went to the Buddha, heard the Dharma and thus obtained Bodhi. Salas Bodhi. Also, the Brahmanacharya first heard the name of Buddha at the home of the Jatala Brahmacharan Ki Ni. His mind was overjoyed. He went straight to the Buddha. He heard the Dharma and obtained Bodhi. These texts say only that Sutta and Sala heard the name. The hearing of the name is a cause and condition for obtaining Bodhi but is not Bodhi. 4. The hearing of the name and abhisamadhi are not simultaneous. Question. However, the Prajnaparamita-sutra says here that one hears the name of the Buddha and that at the same time one obtains abhisamadhi. It does not say that after having heard the name it is necessary to practice the path in order to finally obtain abhisamadhi. Answer. Here the expression at the same time does not mean in one and the same mind moment. It only means that there is no intermediary between hearing the name and abhisamadhi. That is what the expression at the same time means. Metta Sutta. As the sutra says, when the mind of loving kindness is cultivated, the 7 members of samadhi are cultivated at the same time. Objection. But the meditation of loving kindness is impure, for it has beings as object. How then could one cultivate, at the same time, the 7 members of samadhi which themselves are pure? Answer. After loving kindness has arisen, one cultivates the 7 members of samadhi. As there are no other dharmas that are inserted between matri and the sambodhyangas, we say that they arise at the same time. The expression at the same time can have 2 meanings. 1. It can designate strict simultaneity. 2. It can designate posteriority in the long run, provided that no other dharma comes to be inserted between the 2 terms. Here, as it is a mind of matri and without any other intermediary a practice of the 7 sambodhyanas, it is said that they arise at the same time. 5. Causes other than the hearing of the name occurring in the obtaining of abhisamadhi. 1. Furthermore, in some beings the merits are ripe and the fetters are slight. They will obtain abhisamadhi. If they hear the name of the Buddhas, they will obtain it at once. 2. Moreover, it is by the power of the Buddhas that they hear and find the way. Thus when an ulcer is ripe and there is nobody to prick it, a very small cause is enough for the ulcer to break by itself. When a fruit is ripe and there is nobody to gather it, a small breeze is enough to make it fall by itself. A new piece of cotton cloth, white and clean, easily takes the dye. In regard to men, the Prajnaparamita-sutra says here that by hearing the name of the Buddhas they immediately obtain abhisamadhi. Another example. When a preta who has taken possession of a man hears the exorcism of the hermit, he abandons his victim and flees. 6. How is the name of the Buddhas spread? Question. But who then spreads the name of the Buddhas beyond universes as numerous as the sands of the Ganges in a way that beings hear it? Answer. 1. By his miraculous power, the Buddha emits innumerable rays from the pores of his skin. On each of these rays there are precious lotuses. On each of these lotuses there sits a Buddha, and each of these Buddhas saves beings by preaching the holy Dharma and also by saying the name of the Buddhas. This is how the beings hear it. See what has been said above in the chapter on Fangkaoyang. 2. Moreover, According to their earlier vows, the great bodhisattvas go to the places where the Dharma of the Buddhas does not exist, and there they proclaim the name of the Buddhas, as has been said in the present chapter. This is how beings hear it. 3. There are also people of great merit who hear the voice of the Buddhas coming from the sky. This was the case for the bodhisattva Sato Poluan. 4. The name of the Buddhas is also heard through the intermediary of deities, through the sounds made by the trees or in dream. 5. There are also Buddhas of inconceivable power who come to proclaim or pronounce it. 6. Finally, there are bodhisattvas who take the oath to save all beings. This is why they say the following: when I attain abhisambodhi, may beings in universes as numerous as the sands of the Ganges, as soon as they hear my name, all realize abhisambodhi. But in order to do this, they must practice the perfection of wisdom. Samapti. Conclusion. Question. In the preceding chapters, the bodhisattva wants to acquire various qualities and formulates the wish for them. All these things are to be realized by a group of various practices. Why then does the Prajnaparamita-sutra, in place of detailing these practices, only recommend that he practice the prajnaparamita? Answer. 1. The sutra in question is called Prajnaparamita and the Buddha wants to explain it. This is why he praises the Prajnaparamita chapter by chapter. 2. Moreover, the Prajnaparamita is the mother of the Buddhas. The task of the mother is greater than that of the father. This is why the Buddha considers prajna as his mother, and the pratyutpannasamadhi as his father. This samadhi can only concentrate the distracted mind in such a way that prajna is produced, but it cannot see the true nature of things. The prajnaparamita can see dharmas completely and discern their true nature. There is nothing that it cannot penetrate, nothing that it cannot realize. Its qualities are so great that it is called mother. Also, although the yogin who cultivates the 6 perfections and a group of many qualities is able to realize all his wishes, the Prajnaparamita-sutra says only that he must practice the prajnaparamita. 3. Furthermore, as will be said in a following chapter, without the prajnaparamita, the other 5 paramitas are not called perfections. Even by cultivating all the practices one does not completely fulfill the wishes. It is like colored drawings which, without glue, are not usable. If even in the course of beginningless samsara, beings who cultivate generosity, morality, patience, exertion, dhyana, and wisdom obtain the mundane fruits of retribution, these again will revert to nothing. Why? Because prajnaparamita is missing in them. But now, it is with the help of the Buddhas and with prajnaparamita that these beings cultivate these 6 things: generosity, morality, etc. And this is why these are called perfections and bring about abhisambodhi, so that the succession of the Buddhas will be uninterrupted. 4. Moreover, when the bodhisattva cultivates the prajnaparamita, he sees that all the dharmas are empty and that this emptiness itself is empty. From then on he abolishes all seeing and obtains the unhindered prajnaparamita. Then, by the power of his great compassion and skillful means, he comes back to accomplish meritorious actions, and because of these very pure actions, there is no wish that he cannot fulfill. The other merits which themselves lack prajnaparamita do not possess this unhindered prajnaparamita. How then could one say that in order to realize his wishes, it is enough for him to practice the virtue of generosity, etc.? 5. Finally, when the first 5 perfections, generosity, morality, patience, exertion, and dhyana, are separated from wisdom, they do not have the name of perfections. The first 5 perfections are like blind men. The prajnaparamita is like seeing. The first 5 perfections are like an unbaked clay pot. The prajnaparamita is like a baked clay pot. The first 5 perfections are like a bird without its 2 wings. The prajnaparamita is like a bird with its wings. For these many reasons, the prajnaparamita is able to realize great things. This is why it is said that in order to acquire the qualities and realize one's wishes, it is necessary to practice the perfection of wisdom. End chapter 52.